My name is Scott Neitlich. I'm the marketing manager for MattyCollector.com, which is the exclusive home to Masters of the Universe Classics. We've been at PowerCon every year, so it's our third year. It's great being here because people just want to be here. They just want to celebrate, Motu, and some other brands. Here there's like a turtle amphibian brand and something with feline warriors. But yeah, it's great to be at a convention where everybody's here for one thing. As opposed to San Diego or New York where everyone's got their own, little niche thing. Here it's like, let's talk He-Man. It's really just so much fun. My favorite thing about PowerCon is just getting to talk to fans. People who actually just care about the brand. See them excited. Just see people so happy doing these figures. I mean, we put so much work into this stuff, and the fans are so different in person, if you will, than they are online. I think online because people have got their screen names and they're behind their computer, but here you get much more honest opinions, both good and bad. But at least it's face to face, and you can actually communicate. And if there's things that people don't like about the line, you can actually answer them and explain, within the limitations of the toy making process, why not everything is always possible. I think a lot of times written words come off as people say it's snarky, when it's actually just us trying to be open and honest, and it's easier to be open and honest in person than it is, when you're typing. So I came to Mattel about 8 years ago, and I was first hired on as a writer in the Hot Wheels group. I named all the little basic cars and track sets, and I wrote the copy. But I was a huge He-Man fan. I had a giant Castle Grayskull up on my desk from the 2002 line, so this was 2006, I think, when I started. So the 2002 line was kind of ending, the Stactions were in their final waves. But I was a big collector of that line and the vintage line. I was a He-Man fan for life, really. And I, got some resources together and pitched to management, why don't we make, a He-Man line just aimed at adults? Because there was no new entertainment for kids, and traditionally action figure lines are all based on kids. So if there's no entertainment, there tends not to be a toy line. So I was like, think outside the box here. Let's, can we do something? We've got Barbie collector, we've got Hot Wheels collector. Why not, some method that we could sell? Motu is big enough with adults, and I believed, and I think the fans have proven it over the past few years, that they could support a collector named line. And, we were right, the fans were right. The line's on the 6th year. Is that right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 will be the 7th year. Well, 8 was 4 figures. But, yeah, so basically, we pitched it to management, and they said, okay, let's set it up, see how it does. And we did a figure at San Diego, and then we did a couple figures online, and the first ones didn't do too well, even He-Man. But then by the time we got to Stratos, they just started selling like gangbusters, and then the rest is a story. I was born in the late 70s, so, I was right there in the early 80s when He-Man was hitting. I've told this story a couple times, how I first got my first Motu figures. When I was 4 or 5, I was very sick on my birthday. Not gravely on death's door, but I just had a cold or whatever it was. Sick enough that my parents had to cancel my party. But when you're 4 and you find out your party's being canceled, that's devastating. So to cheer me up, my parents gave me my gifts early. And they gave me Castle Grayskull, He-Man, Skeletor, Battle Cat, Ram Man, Man-at-Arms, if I remember right. And yeah, there was a love at first sight. These were just the coolest things, especially because I was a very skinny kid. So the idea of a giant bulked up guy made of muscles was just very aspirational. And then when I actually had my party a few weeks later, I know I definitely got a few more figures. I know I got Teela and Zor as a 2-pack, or Zoar. I never had Merman, I never had Zodak, I never had Beastman or Merman. But I started, I kind of got most of all of them until sort of the tail end, where I didn't get some of the Snake Men and kind of Mosquito type waves. But I was there for the long haul, right in the center of the Jitsu, the Rock Warriors, that was kind of the heart of it all. My sister was collecting Princess of Power. I remember she had 2 She-Ras and 2 Castaspellas. So I got her extra She-Ra and her extra Castaspella as part of my Motu collection. So they kind of became 2 of my favorite of the POP figures. Love the cartoon. I love the '87 movie. Never into New Adventures. I think by then I was getting a little old. I was kind of getting into girls in school and stuff. And then the 2002 line came along when I was in college, and I loved it. I was like, yes, this is the He-Man I want. More adult, lots of continuity, chase variants to get us collecting. I remember I found the Mechaneck variant with the goggles, and I flipped it on eBay and paid for half my toy collection that year with that Mechaneck I found. I was so excited. Obviously before I came to Mattel. So yeah, I was hunting out. I was going to Target and Toys R Us and Walmart, before work, looking for the figures. I remember I found Buzz Off on vacation in Cape Cod, and I was like so excited because I never found him on my own. 2002 is what we're talking about, that whole line. Yeah, and then when the line ended, I got my job at Mattel like soon after, and originally pitched Classics as being a continuation of that. We talked about the original King Grayskulls being in the 2002 line, using 2002 tooling. I think we were going to use Ice Armor He-Man because he had the bigger boots, and just do a new head and new cape. And that was going to be our King Grayskull. But then the Horsemen at the same time pitched the new form factor. We're like, well, why don't we apply this to the King Grayskull idea that we were already doing? And that's kind of became Classics.